Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
Bullshit.
Drama and
Just, I don't get it.
I'm like, that's so unnecessary. Like, one of my favorite local bands, and I'm not going to say who, but one of my favorite local bands, a couple of the members have been just nonstop since the election happened. And I'm just like, this isn't what we're about.
That's why I posted what I posted a couple days ago, or yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was like,
the one of As I Lay Dying.
No, not that one.
That one was funny.
I know you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, I don't give a fuck who you voted for. I don't give a shit. Right wing, left wing, chicken wing. I don't give a fuck. Like, you disrespect me, you disrespect my friends or family. Like, it's over. Like, that's what I don't talk. I don't give a fuck where your political ideas lie. I don't care. Just be a good person. That's it. I don't give a shit about anything else.
Everyone's got their own motivations for why they become an artist, but my goal here has been and always will be to bring people together.
Absolutely.
You know, that shit needs to stay at home. And in order for us to build the scene up the way I see this scene building up, the way my vision for what we can do here, that shit's got to stay. Like, you can't play into that.
It needs to be. This is an escape from
Yeah,
that.
that's like what we're doing is to take you
Nope.
out of that head mindset so you can be happy.
No
for a few
politics or
hours.
religion at the bar. That should be a general
absolutely.
rule
Like-
for.
But we need a big fucking sign back here. So.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. You know, when I joined Screwed Ins,
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm anti-political. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, it's nothing that I don't care about it. You know what I mean? I don't want
Right.
to hear about it. We are not gonna be like, if someone asks, like, well, where do your political? We don't. We play music for people who want to hear it. End of story.
Yeah,
We write.
I was a hardcore anarchist in my teens.
Yeah, no, absolutely. like I was telling you earlier, like, I grew up like, street punk, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I did was go to punk shows. You know, I saw, the Casualties and the Exploited at a real young age. You know, because of my aunt, she was heavy into that scene. You know, she saw Gigi Allen before he died. You know, she was like obviously super heavy into that scene, and she, just my segue into like the aggressive music that I listen to and do now was, it came off of the street punk thing. So like that, that's just where my mentality has always lied. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like when you listen to like punk and hardcore, it's like politics, anti-fascism, you know what I mean?
There's a handful of bands that do politics, and that's fine. That's their thing.
Yeah,
that's their
absolutely.
gimmick. And, some bands have a gimmick. Some bands' gimmick is politics.
Yeah.
None of them are my favorite. I mean, I do love Rage Against the Machine. That's the one band that I love that's like super politically charged.
Yeah. Well, I love the band.
But that's not why I love them.
They're not really political. They're just anti-government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I guess that's political. But yeah.
Tom Morello's pretty political.
Yeah.
At least now.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
I think he has a master's in political science.
Yeah,
I
he
think
does.
He's like,
yeah, and anyways, we're not gonna. Are we good, Ron? Can we? All right.
Speak a little.
Is that?
I mean, no, it's fine. It's fine. We didn't say anything outrageous. I just don't want. I sure as shit don't want to start the show off with
political.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They're a great band.
Yeah, no, the reason I fell in love with Rage is because they were doing something that I didn't even know what you were allowed to do. Like, I was 13 years old when that first album come out, and me and my best friend are jumping up and down on his parents' couches screaming, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." Like, at 13, it was like, you can do this.
Yeah.
So that's why I fell in love with them.
Oh, yeah.
But then you get older and you grow, you mature, you start to understand things more, and you realize,
find
like,
yourself.
all of those songs are super it's anti-imperialism, not
Anti-authoritarianism,
Yeah,
too,
anti-authoritarian, anti-imperialism. But ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Jon Sanchez, who didn't turn their ringer off. That was probably me.
Hey, it's not me.
I apologize.
Your positive potato's falling over
Yeah.
back there. You ain't doing.
Yeah, we are a mess today.
That's a great way to get started.
Well, I found that so funny, but it was because that's the way I feel.
Yeah, we're all over the place this morning. But first of all, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It didn't take John long to make a name for himself in the scene. Where did you move here?
I moved here. It'll be 4 years in March, but I've only been part of the local music scene maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
I joined. I was on Craigslist and I was just getting bored. I was like, I need to do something. I need to find my musical outlet. That's all I did back home in Texas. I was like, I need to find something. I found a band on Facebook. Craigslist that needed a guitarist. I was like, that fits my my realm of what I'd like to do and listen to. So I'll try it out. So I joined them. We did a few shows. Nothing crazy, just having fun. It's something to do. But only within the last 9 months has it really just
It's been a bit of an explosion, at least from my perspective.
No,
I wasn't aware of you until you reached out. I got the email for Screwed Ends. I looked at the links you sent me, and you did it the right way. You were very communicative, but you also went and found ways to get on shows.
4 shows.
Yeah.
4 weekends back to back.
Yeah,
Three,
three.
but-
It was
Wait, I
three.
thought it was 4.
No, it was 3. It was just
It was
three.
4 in 2 months.
4
Three,
in 2
3 weeks.
No, we've only been here
So-
3 times.
Is it 3?
Yeah, we've only been here
Yeah.
3 times back to back to back.
But you show up to shows.
Yeah, no.
You'll
Yes.
come and support
Maybe that's
shows,
what it was.
and he's networking, reaching out to other bands, getting on bills.
I've always seen myself as a social whore. I enjoy. I'm a people person. I love
I was
talking
just
to
saying
people.
hustler.
I just no, absolutely.
Yeah.
If there's something that I believe in, especially if it's something that I'm doing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna whore it out.
Yeah.
Well, one of the first things, when the first time I met you, one of the things that stood out was your genuine love and passion for music and the arts and what you're doing. And I knew from the first meeting, I was like, this guy's for real. And you told me then that you had moved here from Texas. You told me a little bit about the Texas hardcore scene. So let's start there,
Yeah.
and then we'll get to what we're really going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you grew up in Texas, right?
Born and raised in San Antonio. Basically lived my life in a 10-mile radius. Between being born, my family, even the house that I bought out there. I can drive down the street 3 minutes, be at my parents. Drive down the street 2 minutes the other way, be at my sister's. It's just that's what
So
it was.
you're from Texas, but you're a small town kid.
No, I'm San Antonio. I'm from a huge city. Charlotte is the smallest city I've ever lived in.
So tell me, we were talking earlier before the show about you grew up. A lot of your family listened to punk rock, and
Yeah.
and that's kind of how you got into the scene. Tell me about the San Antonio scene, and why you left.
Well, it's okay. So, like I said, musically, when it all started, of course, you don't have no choice but to listen to what your parents are listening to. Being from Texas, being of Hispanic heritage, I listened to a lot of Tejano from my parents, from my dad specifically. A lot of, classic rock, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses from my mom, and then a lot of new wave and stuff from my dad. So it was just kind of a collective of all that. The more aggressive side of the music that really got me going was from my aunt. She grew up heavy into the punk scene. Like I was mentioning earlier, she saw G.G. Allin live multiple times. She saw bands like Total Chaos, The Exploited back, when they were still young, brand new bands in the 80s. You know what I mean? And that was my segue into the heavier, more aggressive type music that I perform and listen to now. But I'm in no way or shape or form an elitist. I won't say I only listen to hardcore, I only listen to punk, I only listen no. I'm a musician. I love music. My playlist is so sporadic. I'll be listening to the Casualties. Next song is Garth Brooks.
Yep.
Next song is NSYNC. Who gives a shit? If it sparks interest in my life, I'm
Yep.
gonna listen to it. It's I draw influence from everything that I see and hear. You know what I mean? I started playing music at a very young age, 2nd grade, learned how to play the violin through school. I was always interested in learning how to play the guitar. I didn't really do that until high school. I was born and raised in the Catholic faith.
No way.
Yeah. So I had a buddy of mine, he knew how to play guitar. He had taken lessons and he started teaching me, and that was it. I just took that and started going with it. Then I started learning other songs on my own, bands I was listening to. I joined my first legitimate band. I was 18 or 19 years old. We're a band. We were called Before the Gale. It's just still
Before the Gale?
Before the Gale, before the storm. It's a biblical term. we were a Christian metalcore band when it was still all the rage back in the late 2010s and stuff like that. Sorry, not 2010, or early 2010s. We didn't really do much. We played some shows out of town and did our thing, recorded a few songs. Between then and now, like I was always in little bands, but it was never.
Were you as active in San Antonio as you are here?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I really want to get into. The differences between the two scenes. Like you clearly come from a very musical background, family. You were surrounded by music and art, which speaks, makes a lot of sense considering the type of person you are.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to know, like, was there a culture shock moving from San Antonio to Charlotte?
Not necessarily. I feel like the metal scene, the hardcore scene here is really similar to San Antonio and just Texas in general. The only difference is over there, that's basically it. You're either pop punk or you're like just aggressive. There's no in between. There's almost nothing in between. And the thing that separates the scene over here from over there, unfortunately, I love Texas with all my heart, but it's not a family out there. Everyone's talking shit about each other every day.
Well, it was like that in Charlotte back in the 90s.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it was very competitive back then.
Yeah. Like I said, well, obviously I've only been here almost 4 years. I couldn't talk about that, but since I've been here, it's all like, I'm sure, of course, you have your drama between people, whatever, but I've seen a lot of support from, other bands and stuff here reaching out like, oh, well, I know maybe you could play this show. Like, they need a band to do this show, or y'all are doing good, play this show. We're
more collaborative.
It's extremely compared to over there where it's extremely elitist. It's like, if you're not in a metal band, you're a piece of shit. If you're not doing this, you're like you're not a musician. You're not for real. You know what I mean? I can't say what it is now. I know I have some friends out there in bands. Maybe it's changed. I don't know. I go there like once or twice a year, but not really, obviously not to partake in the music scene, just to visit my family.
Yeah, it's not Austin, right?
I personally can't stand Austin. It's one of those things. No, don't get me wrong. Like, if someone who's not from Texas starts talking shit about Austin, I'll be like, hey, like, don't talk shit. You know what I mean? But I feel like I have that right. You know what I mean?
You've seen this scene kind of embrace you and what you do.
Oh, absolutely.
And take you in.
It's been nothing.
And you are getting a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, it's been nothing but love since we started. Like I said, with Screwed Ins. They were a band way prior to me. Well, it was a separate band. I forgot what the name was. They had a full EP. I've listened to it. It was really good stuff, like really, really catchy riffs and everything. The old vocalist didn't work out. I'm not going to get into what happened there. So they kind of like changed, rebranded, changed sounds a bit, got a little more aggressive. Then they went through a couple vocalists. One guy was just like, oh, it's fun, but I don't want to do this like for real. I just want to do it. And they're like, no, that's not what we want. And then
there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then they had another vocalist who,
sorry,
for lack of better words, couldn't cut it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lyrically and musically, it wasn't a fit. So
you come along.
Yeah, I was just scrolling on Facebook. And when I first got here, when I really wanted to start doing something, I started like finding these like, Charlotte musicians wanted pages and vocalist pages, whatever.
Yep.
I was just scrolling Facebook and a post comes up. It just been posted like a minute ago. At that time, it was just like, a hardcore band seeking vocalists, EP written, sounds like blah blah blah.
Do you like doing the vocals more than playing guitar?
Right now I do. Yeah, right now I do.
Because of the project you're in?
Yeah, just because of the project that I'm in. Yeah, so I messaged the guy who's Andrew, the bassist. I was like, hey, like I've never been the front man of a project. I've always been the bassist, or guitarist and backup vocalist, or just a guitar or whatever. I've never been the front of the band.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted that like heavy, aggressive outlet lyrically and mentally to have an escape. So I messaged him. I was like, hey, I'm more than happy to at least try. You know what I mean? So we were talking about, influences and whatnot. So he sends me, a real rough track. So I was all right, cool. Got a little homework. So he sends me the track. I download it. I listen to it. I write lyrics to it. In about 5 minutes, I go in my car with my daughter's school iPad because I didn't have anything else better to record with at the time because I had to play the music on my phone through my car and then record it with something else. recorded.
DIY, baby.
Yeah, very. Like,
Right.
so within an hour of him sending it to me, I wrote lyrics and recorded it and mapped out lyrically everything and said, "Here's what I can do. Hopefully you like it." He liked it. Sent it to the guitarist Treston. He liked it, and they're like, "All right, cool." Well, that was a Thursday night or a Friday night. Saturday night, we're just still talking about. All right, I'm sorry, that was a Thursday night. Friday date, we're still talking about it. Saturday, we meet up at a practice spot in Clover.
Were they surprised that you were Hispanic?
I mean,
That's a bad joke.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just trying to rile people up.
no, you're good.
Everyone's on edge this week.
So like we go to Montana's house. I meet him. We're talking about music and influences and whatnot. Everyone gets to the house, and I was like, "Look, I know I'm brand new. I have this idea. Like, just bear with me. I have it already lyrically. I have it I'm like rhythmically glowing through my mouth. Like, this is what I want on the guitar.
Just walk in and be like, "This is
the
my
drums."
band now."
Basically, is what he did.
within 5 to 10 minutes of meeting each other, the intro that you've heard us play and the intro that's on our EP,
Yeah.
we wrote that in 5 minutes of being in a room.
Oh, wow.
Like that, like no bullshit, like nothing. Like within 5 to 10 minutes of me meeting everyone collectively, I said, "This is an idea I have. Let's run it." And we wrote
That's kind of ballsy, man, to walk into the room with that kind of confidence for an established band.
I think that's what really worked because
That's what I was
like
gonna say.
because that's what they was just like we need.
But it seems like they were kind of lacking the direction.
Exactly.
And you kind of brought the
I mean,
direction.
I'm not the oldest in the band. I mean, most of them are in their 20s. Chris is a little older than me. But I feel like out of everyone, I have had the more musical and band experience. So it wasn't me like just trying to take charge and be like, "Hey, I'm the new vocalist. This is my band now." It wasn't like that.
No, that's not what I mean. Was like just walking in with that kind of confidence.
Like, I got this shit.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these guys are they're reeling. They're looking for, like you said, a direction, looking for
Yeah,
leadership.
you could have
missing
a
the
ton of
puzzle.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have a ton of people that know what they're doing and know what they want to do, but you need somebody to kind of collaborate that all
Direct.
together.
Absolutely,
and put-
absolutely. Like I said, so I went in. I was like, "This is what I got. Let's lay it out." Like I said, within 5-10 minutes, there it is. And now we recorded it. It's on the EP. That's our intro song to our set. Whether people believe it or not that we wrote that in 5 minutes, it happened.
No,
It
no, I
happened.
believe
It
it.
happened.
Some of the best
It's just-
shit gets written in 5 minutes, man.
That chemistry, it was so strong from the beginning. As soon as we all were in that room, closed door, with the instruments on and ready to go, that chemistry like I said, I've been in quite a few bands over the last 15 years of my life, but there's something about this band that I just feel is way different than anything else I've ever done. Just like I said, that chemistry is so strong that, like I said, to get in there, to go from perfect strangers to brothers writing a song in 5 minutes, it's just, I've never had that experience.
love
And
these
y'all,
stories.
I know, and they really do, like, backstage, they really do have that brother connection.
Brotherhood.
Like, there was no, "Oh, you fucked this up," or "No, no, no." It was just very much that brotherhood.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
it's never been like that. Even they had the EP that's out now was heavily edited over the last few months before we did it, just to make sure like it all fit everything. And we try not to be that band where it's like, "Well, I don't like that. I don't like that." It's more of a "Hey,
What about this?
let's try this instead. Maybe this will sound better." It's never a bashing. It's always a positive criticism. Like, instead of that, let's try this. Oh, that sounds better. Now we're
Like a
clipping
yes
it.
anding rather than
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Not no pissing contest. It's like
Right.
like let's work together. Let's put out something we all love. And the EP went through heavy edits. Our producer was probably tired of us at the end of the day. It was like, no, we just that little bass note needs to be up just that much more. Or that drum needs to be down. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it was like, it's a product that we want to make sure we enjoy, that we can put out for other people.
And it's a
to
fun
enjoy.
live show.
It really is.
You're a very
appreciate it.
engaging front man, and that's really important. You could have the best song in the world, but if you're not engaging the audience and
you're
making
boring.
people, if you're boring,
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
falls flat. But that is something you are not, brother. You guys are not
appreciate
boring.
that.
You guys are a lot of fun
You
live.
Yeah, like I was saying
Yeah,
earlier.
you're a band. You're the type of band that people don't want to follow. You know what I mean? Like it's hard.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You
I was
don't
like,
know-
"Wait, what?" Okay,
people.
sorry.
Yeah,
No,
it took,
not
it took,
like
it took me a
follow.
half second. I was like, well,
Follow
I mean,
on stage.
I
I'm
get what
sorry.
you mean.
You're the
yeah.
type of band. It's like, I don't want to go on after them.
I want to do that.
You
I
know?
appreciate that.
I
It
think
means
that
a
was
lot.
like the very first show I went, "Ooh, I wouldn't want to be the next band."
Yeah.
Because y'all were the first ones that
Yeah, we were the first
Yeah,
ones. I
and
mean,
was
because
like,
at that point in time, this
Yeah.
was what, August. We had only been an established band
Yeah.
for 5 months at the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
we, between February and now, we've played, I think 11 shows, but not just like locally to where we're at. We've played in South Carolina already. We've played, Greensboro and Spartanburg, and obviously here in Charlotte, of course. So we're not just like, we're not trying to oversaturate our sound.
But you got to introduce yourself to all the little communities.
Exactly. And that's what it is right now. It's just we want people to know, like, okay, this is screwed in.
There are people that live in all of those communities that will come to Charlotte shows or come to shows here, but there's a whole lot more that won't travel.
Absolutely.
And so you have to get out there and hit these other cities.
No, absolutely.
You can't play Charlotte every month. Like, you have to go to Asheville. You have to go to Columbia, Greenville.
Absolutely.
Raleigh, even though Raleigh, from everything we hear from Raleigh bands, there's not really a scene in Raleigh. But, it takes someone doing something like this
for it being
that,
a big city, it's a small town.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to do out there, from what I've heard. I've been every time.
That's actually not true. There's so much to do in Raleigh. It's just no one's from Raleigh. Right, it's there. You've got 3 major universities.
I only ever go for Hurricanes
there,
games,
and then like a ton of
That's all
other
I know.
colleges. There's plenty to do for like young adults, but like no one's from there. Everyone's transplant, whatever.
So everybody's coming and going. Nobody's really sticking around.
There's not really like. No one's been there and like built something the way we're doing it here.
For
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it makes sense that like they struggle for shows, for original shows out there. Yeah, but somebody's got to step up and start doing house shows.
Yeah,
you
we
know
actually
what I mean?
we actually we're playing Raleigh next month, 14th or the 15th. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. So that'll be our first show in Raleigh. We have people who are like been waiting, like, come closer to Raleigh or come closer to East North Carolina so we can go. So. We're excited about that because we know people who have just found us through mutual friends, or Spotify, or Instagram, like really like us. Like, when are you going to come over here? When are you going to come over here? It's a really like, it's a great feeling. You know what I mean? Just having complete strangers like talking to you, like, when are y'all going to be over here? Because I want to go see. I like telling people, like, I want to pay my money to go see you play on stage. It's a whole nother feeling.
It's. I mean, I get a similar feeling. Like before the show, we were talking about how people will drive 2 hours away to come to our open mic. That's a really good feeling.
Yeah,
for me. It's
absolutely.
like, wow, like people, like the word spreading, like, so it really is a great feeling.
I mean, I do wear my screwed in shirt every chance I get because
I appreciate that. And the cool thing for me, like, it really makes me feel that much better because like the few shirts that we have right now, like I've designed them personally, and then the last one we did, I made the design and there's lyrics. My lyrics are on the back of the shirt. And seeing how fast those shirts went in the first night that we had them, and seeing people at my gym wearing them, just people around, like it's crazy to me. Like you're wearing something that not only that I designed, but like what was in my head, my words that I put down are on your back. You paid money to have my words on your back, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a really like overwhelming feeling.
Now I feel like I need a new shirt.
There's a prostitute joke there somewhere. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, it's about being on your back. I don't know. Well, let's shift gears because I really want to talk about our first. First of all, let me say thank you. You're the first person that reached out to me and talked about doing an emo night. I've seen these things pop up at other venues in other cities, and I would see it and I'd be like, that sounds interesting, but I don't know shit about how to put that together. Yeah. So Jon reached out to me with this idea for Emo Night, and I immediately was like, all right, tell me more. So let's start there and talk about, by the way, it's going to be Saturday, November the 30th, right here at the Rooster, our first ever Emo Night. And I'm going to kind of hand it over to you to kind of tell people what to expect.
So, like I said, obviously, like I said earlier, I'm from Texas. Prior to COVID, an old buddy of mine, he had his Emo Night established. So I became friends with him, and I started helping him out. We made it to where it wasn't just a one thing in San Antonio. Like, we were traveling over different cities and doing this. You know what I mean? One thing that what I feel separates us from every other Emo Night that's out there is I'm not going to charge you $25, $35, $45 to listen to the same playlist everyone's playing. You know what I mean? What do we charge? $5 at the door. Like, it doesn't have to, like, that's about money grabbing. I'm just trying to, like, I want you to be able to enjoy the music you grew up listening to, have that nostalgic feeling, and now be able to enjoy some beer while doing it with the same crowd.
You're trying to build a community.
Exactly, build a community, because like all these other emo nights, $25, $35 just to see a guy push play on a laptop with one balloon on the stage is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? What we did back in Texas pre-COVID, I had artists out there, artists from bands that were in the scene. I've had artists, North Carolina natives, Alisana, Sean Milkey from that band was out there a couple times. Melissa Marie Green from Millionaires, she's a friend of mine. I text her about it all the time, and she's ready to come out. The Bunny the Bear, Rookie of the Year, another guy from North Carolina, right before COVID, ruined everything and shut down the world. I was emailing Burt McCracken, the lead singer of the Used, his booking agent, Shane Told from Silverstein, Justin from Motion City Soundtrack. I had names. We were ready to go, and then obviously, COVID happened, the world shut down, and
so you were building all this momentum. You had big names dropping in, and then COVID
ruined everything.
Fucked everything up.
And before it got better, I moved over here.
So what's the plan for here? Because the idea is if this pops off and we get a good turnout for it,
just to keep it going.
It's the idea is to keep make it a regular thing.
Absolutely.
How regular we still haven't really discussed. We want to see if anyone will show up.
Exactly.
First.
The amount of times we do it, there's so many emo nights around here nowadays, and it's popping off like every other week. There's a different one. I don't want to do it every other week. I mean, back home, there's people who are doing it every single week. I can't see us doing it more than once a month. Exactly. That was always my intent. Well, what we did was we did the first Friday of every month. That was it.
Now,
unless we went to another city the next day, but we never did the same city more than once a month.
Yeah, and we're not going to make it expensive. It's $5 at the door. Now it's $10 if you're under 21.
Yeah,
under 21 it's $10 a door, but 21 and up it's $5 at the door. Now, when people walk in the door, tell people what to expect, like what we're going to see on stage, how they can participate. Kind of lay it out.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, obviously, being the very first time, I'm trying to keep it as budget friendly for myself as possible. So there probably won't be much in the way of decor and stuff like that. Years prior, say it was December, we would do our New Year's the first Friday of the month. We would, do not fireworks inside of a venue, but we'd have fun with the pop cannons, and we'd just have fun. On the 1 year anniversary, I had a big ass cake made with our logo, and we served cake. We just had fun. It was for the crowd. Yeah. It wasn't for us. We were just we were pressing play on a DJ deck. We were there to make the crowd feel how they felt years prior when they were teenagers at Warped Tour, when they were teenagers seeing these bands that they're listening to for the very first time, discovering these bands. That's the feeling I want to instill in people, is that sense of forget everything that's going on today. Just for one night, for 5 hours, 6 hours of your life, remember how you felt 10, 15 years ago when you heard the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I don't feel like overcharging people for it. It's not about the money for me. It's about the community. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can give a shit less if I make any money from it. I just want people to come and enjoy themselves.
Right.
I've already invested my own money into it, because what I plan to do, and which I've already posted on the Facebook event page, I made little buttons for the first 50 people. Nothing special. I'm sure the cameras probably can't catch this, but yep, right there. But it is on the Facebook page too. Just like a little themed button. Broken Heart Crew, founding member. The first 50 people who walk the door, boom, it's free. It's yours. That's it. And if we can get this popping and get it going, I have so many other designs ready. Every month, first 50 people.
I bet you do.
I mean, shirts too. We were giving out free shirts. First 20 people, 50 people. Here's a free shirt. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your night.
Right.
Never charging anything for the shirt, for the buttons. It was a matter of just having friends.
Yeah.
It's also a great networking opportunity for artists.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I've teetered around with is, obviously I want to play the bands that we grew up listening to. Everyone in the Emo Night scenes, all the DJs, they play the big one, the Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco. There's nothing wrong with that, but they're missing a huge part of that scene, because it wasn't just those three bands, those five bands. Silverstein, Aiden, the Devil Wears Prada. There's so
AFI
many.
that used
exactly.
AFI was I'm on record. I wasn't huge into the emo pop punk stuff, but there are a few standouts. And
absolutely,
for me, AFI was their album "Sing the Sorrow" is just a masterpiece. That was fucking masterpiece.
Like I said prior to that, I was super into hardcore punk and street punk when I heard "Sing the Sorrow," like, that was it. Got the swoop. I'm sad. I'm a sad boy now. That's it. That was the album that really got me into, like, I want to just define it as emo, but like that era for my life, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned earlier, like, I'm in no way, shape, or form an elitist in any way. Like, you'll catch me listening to everything. I listen to everything. If it sparks interest in my life, I'm gonna listen to it. I don't. People who label themselves and label what they listen to, they're only limiting themselves. You can find so much joy in so many different genres.
This is why I knew I liked
musically, in movies. You know what I mean? Like, prior to me meeting my wife, like, I didn't really watch a lot of like Korean stuff. She's super into like K-pop and stuff like that. Great. And I started
like, this is catchy.
I started watching, like, no, not that. I don't give a shit about that.
You don't have a K-pop song.
But like K-dramas and stuff like that. Like, there's so much good stuff out there. But I was just limited. I was covering my eyes, essentially.
Yeah.
And then like now I'm just like, there's so much, like, that's what we do now. We'll watch.
Find something.
Exactly. There's a whole nother world out there if you just open your eyes. That's it. And for music especially, there's so many genres out there. I'm not saying like everything,
but give everything a chance.
Yeah, you can respect it even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like,
we talk a lot about that on the show. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that we do because of what the show is. But there's very few things out there that I wouldn't give a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested in your cousin's Nazi.
No, exactly. I'm not saying.
I don't really want to hear that shit. But I'll listen to just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I get hundreds of fucking emails.
Oh, yeah,
bands that want to play, and I get to.
You do.
I'm the one that wades through the garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one that goes and listens to these.
I get to see the notifications go through. I'm like, well, I'm glad that's not me.
and I go in and I give everyone a chance. Sometimes I'm out in 10 seconds. I'm like, yep, nope, not for me. I don't want to hear this. This sounds awful. But then a lot of times I'll be in there. I'm just working away, and that's usually when I'm pulling it up while I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something to listen to.
If you can vibe to it.
Yeah,
not thinking about it.
And then I'll be like, 2/3 of the way through an album, I'll be like, who the fuck is this again? This is awesome. This is so good.
And so my wife and I, a couple weeks ago, we went to Las Vegas for that When We Were Young festival.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I got 500 stickers for my first Screwed Ins made with the QR codes and everything. So we get to we get there, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll meet you at the line. I'm going over here. Obviously, if you yell out free sticker, who wants a free sticker? People are going to flock to you. So I hand out 500 stickers in a matter of a couple minutes, and then that was my little spiel there. I was like, you can like us, you can hate us. You gave us a chance. That's all I'm asking.
You know why I started putting QR codes on our stickers? Because I started to see our stickers on like poles that drive-throughs and like handicap parking signs, and I'm like, there should be a QR code there. Like, there's not a web address. There's nothing. It's just our logo. So the next batch of stickers I printed, I put the QR code, and now I'm seeing the QR codes pop up on street signs.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
and parking lots.
I don't know who could be doing that.
It's such easy marketing too. It takes nothing, because if the sticker itself is catchy enough, people are going to be like, okay, cool. Let me scan. Let me see what it. Oh, there's Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook. Like, oh, now they're my favorite band. And that could be for anyone. There's a lot of bands that are doing that nowadays. It's a really simple way of marketing yourself, because you can't obviously talk to every person at one time. We got a few stickers around here. We went to the Punk Rock Museum a few weeks ago too, and I slapped like 10 stickers in that small building alone. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're having thousands of music fans a week flowing in and out of those doors and in that bar area that they have.
For the record, I'm not advocating for anyone to slap our stickers on anything. I don't even know if it's legal.
And I didn't confirm or deny that I did it either.
But if you do, cool.
And that's what I told people too. I was like at the music festival, it's a sticker. So when you're done with it, slap it somewhere cool. Just don't get me in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
don't put it in City Hall or the courthouse.
I know one of the local.
Actually, yes.
I know one of the local bands that loves to. They slap them on the cookout. The
drive-through.
Yeah, I couldn't get the word out. Yeah, they like to do that.
Yeah, no,
So I was like, here, have some.
I've slapped them everywhere that I possibly can without trying to get in trouble. To be fair, I've also slapped some in Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll move aside some.
Walmart.
I'll move aside some toys and slap one in the back. Put the toys back. Someone's gonna see that one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or in a beer
That
cooler.
one person's gonna be like, I love this toy.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like the beer coolers, like open the lid and put it on the inside lid of the beer coolers.
Yeah. Or you even just on a couple like popular beer boxes.
Or you can slide it down in the beer box.
Exactly.
How about just go to Walmart and slap them in the coolers, like in the
I got a new, yeah.
yeah.
I don't. What?
Anyway,
Anyways, let's not. Emo Night, Saturday. Now, see what's cool about this is we found like I struggle every single year around the holidays to figure out what to do because people have family in town. That are from all over the country. People are spending a ton of money on their holiday dinners and Christmas shopping. So that weekend after Thanksgiving, to me, I've tried different things. I've tried like the Black Flag Friday by doing like a punk rock show, and I don't even. Last year we hosted a drag show, and my thought process there was, well, this is an alienated demographic. A lot of these people probably don't enjoy the holidays, living in the South, being,
Bible Belt.
a marginalized person.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's give them somewhere to go, but nobody showed up. So I don't know where all the drag show
Your
fans
hand
went.
was in the right spot.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
So this year I was like, I am not going to do like a show. We're going to do something different, something that doesn't cost a lot.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're not even doing a show at all on Friday. Like Black Friday, we're just going to open up, put the local music in on the bar.
Come see me.
Come hang out. Yeah, come see Ariel. And then that Saturday, while you've got your cousins in town,
Exactly.
you come out.
You
It's
got
only
the black
$5.
sheep of the family. You're done with dinner or whatever. You're hanging
By
out.
Saturday, you're
ready.
ready to choke your uncles and everything.
Are
It's
we
like
all the black sheep of the
Yeah.
family?
I'm sorry.
I was like, are we all sorry?
I mean,
Is
that's
that a moment?
the whole community,
Probably.
man. Yeah, it's the whole community. We're all the outcasts and black sheep, misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right.
So Saturday after Thanksgiving's your opportunity to just get away from all that nonsense and come have a really good
Yes.
time for cheap.
And
you know?
I'm not, maybe I think I meant to mention this earlier. I don't think I did though. But another thing I want to do that no other, as far as I'm aware, no other emo night, at least in this area, is doing. I want to make it about the local community too. I want to have a couple local bands every hour too. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, I'm playing a block of pop punk, so here's this band that locally.
Here's
that
Home for the Day, yeah, or here's Seneca Burns.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Then like, okay, well, now here's metalcore. Okay, I'm gonna throw my band in there. A little,
Yeah.
Here's Alpha Strain,
shameless.
like,
Exactly. That's what I want to do. I want to build that community.
And I will say this: if anybody wants to sing along,
Absolutely.
we have the microphones, we have the PA.
And that's what we did
Yeah.
back home too. When we did it, I was like I don't want to say the front man. That sounds really weird. But I was the hype man of the night. You know what I mean? I had the
host,
microphone.
MC.
Yeah, kind of in a way. I'd grab them. I'd sing and scream and go crazy. Get the crowd involved. Get them enjoying, like just forgetting everything about what they left behind earlier that night and just live right now. Like worry about that shit later. Live right now.
Yeah.
And then what I plan to do, hopefully, this
It's
takes
so
off.
healthy. It's so healthy to find a creative, fun outlet for yourself.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not a creative person, to have something fun to do that you can kind of break away. I think that's got a lot to do with why people are going nuts right now over politics, is because they don't have an outlet.
Yeah.
Like people need something to do that's not a responsibility.
I had that conversation yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they don't want to pay $25, $35, $45 to do it.
Right.
You come over here, you pay $5, you get in, just have fun, go crazy, whatever.
Yeah. And
Well,
then,
like you said earlier, with the networking between the bands, and you've got different bands in here. Like we've had bands on here who've met at Emo Night.
yeah, and we've had bands that have started because of our open mic here,
Yes.
and we've had bands play here that met. Well, we'll just say Encre Noir
CJ
is a
and
band.
Aiden.
CJ and Aiden met at an emo night,
Yeah.
and now they're one of the hottest bands in the
Yeah,
Carolinas.
they're making a name.
Yeah,
for
they
them.
are.
We haven't had the
saying?
pleasure of playing a show with them yet.
Oh.
We
All right,
were
I'll
all,
try to make that
Yes.
happen.
yeah,
I'll
try.
we were on a bill with them. I think, yeah, because we had like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. And then I was looking at the dates and it's like, shit, I'm gonna be in Vegas that weekend. Like, I can't do it. Like, I'm gonna be gone.
We'll make that happen in
Yeah,
2025.
absolutely. No, I
Yes.
think I have a few of them on Facebook. Like I like their music. I think they like my music. Well, hopefully they do.
They probably do.
No, we're definitely we as a band, as Screwed Ends, we want to play for whoever wants to hear us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll play a show. We've played mixed genre shows
I love
that don't
that.
really go well. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Our thing at the end of the day is, if we traveled to a show that had 5 other people not in the bands play, and one of those people liked us, cool. That's all
Yeah.
it takes. The good thing so far, and it's a real like humbling feeling for us. Like we have yet to play a show and not sell a shirt, even if it's just one shirt at a bad show that we played. Not a set bad, but just like no draw. Okay, cool. There's 5 people here. One of those 5 bought a shirt.
Yeah.
Cool. Like they
Yeah.
liked us that much. We did the that Halloween cover night that they do every year at the Milestone.
Yeah, the
And,
show I'm super jealous of, and I can never do it because it's their thing.
But no, it was super fun. Actually, both my bands played, and that helped another band. So I basically had 3 sets that night, and then the next day, Screwed In's had a show, so I did basically 4 sets in 24 hours.
Dang.
But it was real fun, you know what I mean? When they're like, yeah, you can bring your merch. It's a cover show. I was like, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? We unpack it, whatever. People bought our shirts just because they liked the performance. Like, I don't even know what y'all sound like, but just because y'all sounded that good playing this other music, I want to support y'all.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. We're just, like I said, we're a very, very, very young band, like not probably about 9 months as of this moment. But we're just getting started. I mean, from going from complete strangers to writing and finalizing an EP, our 3rd show ever, we opened up for Evergreen Terrace. A couple weeks ago, we played with Filth.
That's a big one.
Yeah. No, we have these opportunities. We're on consideration for a couple music festivals around different states, from Milwaukee to Idaho to West Virginia. Just because.
And everybody's committed to like the touring part of this.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I almost said unfortunately. It's not unfortunate. We have a couple babies coming in the band, so we got
to plan it out.
Half of there's 5 of us. 3 of us are fathers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But thankfully, we have partners that are supportive in what we're doing. We just have to make sure
It's fine. Kids ruin everything. It's fine.
Yeah, he's got to make sure there's that good balance of everything. But no, we're
Well, the good
ready.
thing is, when you're playing a show here, the kids can come.
Oh, absolutely. My kids were here.
Yeah.
3 of them. I'm sorry, 2 of them. 2 of the 3 were here. The
And
other
I'm
one
used to
way too
babysitting
young.
bands. You can just throw a kid in there too. It don't bother me.
Yeah. Like I said,
Eventually, if we ever grow into a bigger space, we'll set up a nursery.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like after that show, the last show we played here, when my oldest and my middle child were here, ever since that day, my son, he's 2 years old, he'll grab anything that resembles a microphone in any way, shape, or form, and just start screaming.
Oh, that makes me so happy, dude. That's awesome.
The funny thing is, maybe a week or 2 after that show,
He started a hardcore band.
Yeah.
Your 2-year-old
I
son.
usually take them to not practice for Screw-Ins, but we'll go to the studio to record and edit some stuff. I'll take him with me that way.
Oh, you got to get him on a mic for one of your songs, dude.
I've tried.
He
He got super shy,
Yeah.
but like I told him, he's like, "Hey, Daddy, where we going?" 2-year-old, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna go do music." So, one second, he ran back inside, got his maraca, came running back. He said, "I'm ready." You know what I mean? It's great as a father, as a musician,
Yeah.
to see that little influence that I've already had on my kids. My daughter has an old rock band, drum set, and for a week, that's all they were doing was just playing the little guitar and the drum. It's a great feeling, you know what I mean? It does take a lot of time away from them, unfortunately, but the fact that they get to see me and hear my music on Spotify and whatever. Like my son will try to play us on Alexa all the time. He can't really talk correctly, so
He tries.
it's harder. But you know what I mean? Just
You're
knowing,
teaching them, right? Like seeing dad chase their dream.
exactly.
dreams, you know?
It's a great feeling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Obviously, it's a bit hard. I'm 33. I got a wife and 3 kids. I got mortgages to take care of.
Yeah.
It's a little harder, but when you have someone who's willing to support you through and through, like it makes it that much.
Yeah, that's why it's
does.
important. That's why it's important to like make good choices with who you surround yourself with and who you. I can't find a decent way to say it.
You got to have a good cheerleading squad.
You want to make sure that you're interacting and you're building relationships with high quality
That
people.
part.
I've had people.
There's a lot of crybabies and losers
Absolutely.
out there.
You don't want to waste that energy on.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's why I'm a social butterfly. You're cool with me, I'm cool with you. Industry until you give me a reason not to talk to you, I'll talk to you. You know what I mean? I'm just a friendly kind of guy.
And if you want to talk to Jon Sanchez, be here Saturday, November 30th for our first ever Emo Night. We're going to wrap it up. You want to throw any other dates out before we get out of here?
We got a few shows coming up. We just jumped on one this month, 26th at the Milestone. December 7th in Asheville, 27 Club. December 15th or 14th, I can't remember off the top of my head. That one's in Raleigh at the Chapel of Bones.
Yeah.
If anyone...
And if anyone wanted to keep up with where you're at, tell them where to go.
Yeah, just, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Just type in Screwed Ends, ENDS. We're like the only thing to pop up. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram. Like we're
we'll
all
put
there.
your link tree in the description
absolutely.
below, so
Follow
you
that.
can just click on that.
Or if you see a sticker, scan the QR code.
yeah.
If you're in a band or you're a promoter who's looking for a heavy band to fill in a spot at a show, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah, get at me, dog.
We're
Yeah.
ready to play for anyone who's ready to have us.
Right on, man. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming and talking to
having
me
me.
today.
Absolutely.
He lives an hour away, drove an hour away to be here on a Saturday, so thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Anything?
No, I'm
We're
good. I'm glad to
All
see you
right,
again. That's all.
one more time. Saturday, November 30th. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Come escape your crazy family and have a great time.
It's
at
gonna
Emo
be
Night.
fun. Bring your
Get
friends.
up there and sing along with one of the songs if you feel
Absolutely.
compelled.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll put a tip bucket out for requests.
But you buy me a beer. That's a request right there.
There you go.
If you want to
heard it.
hear, well, hold on. Let's make it fun for you.
Okay.
Because what's the one song everyone's going to want to hear?
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Black Parade.
I was going to say Black Parade. I was gonna say
Anything My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco,
So,
A Day to Remember.
if you want to hear this, there's a tip bucket right up there next to John's deck. let's make
up
it
there.
lucrative, man.
Deck.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah, I just want
Okay.
to make sure they heard you
Yeah.
right. Next to the deck.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
This
Thanks
has
for
been a lot of
having me.
fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for
All right,
having me.
peace and love.